Welcome back. Sorry there for the little delay, and we're going to be straight back into this anyway, and in the blink of an eye, you haven't missed much apart from Pride just cleaning things up. Apex is going to be the last man alive here for G2, only on that MP7. Haven't seen the MP7 used since the female CS that you and I casted not that long ago, but he's going to make his way down through Aces here, though, and shows why the AK is the preferred weapon. Sorry, though, we did have a slight technical hiccup. When I say a slight technical hiccup, I mean, Tom's PC is on fire.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. Like, legitimately, for some reason, CS just decided to go, I do not exist anymore. Goodbye. I just had to give it a quick restart. So, hopefully, we haven't missed too much. Obviously, double up coming straight in. It was a little bit of a bonus round for G2 on the other side of things. But, I'm looking forward to this double up. It's Kenny and Shocks, the big combo. And we're back into the action.
Yeah, it's looking like Pride going to try and make something happen out towards outside as they throw these smokes in. Also, a couple of smokes over and in towards A. That doesn't allow these guys to cross outside, but Body's going to go aggressive regardless and finds that early frag out on Manise. So, gotta be down with Luz. But off the top of Hot, finds that first frag, goes for the pre-fire on Shocks, and he just has to fall on back. Him and Body now with the crossfire over towards A, and for the time being, Pride, they've got a lot of control towards outside, going to be pushing on up, trying to exert some pressure over towards Hell, and already Kenny's looking a little bit fearful for his life as he does have the Polish team closing in from all sides. Has to fall on back, and Body's going to get spotted. Luz, his little head just peeks on over, and he's going to be making his way around. Now Kenny is just going to be watching the door, posted up with the AWP. Should be able to win this engagement if Luz does go for the peek, and there we go. Down he goes. Another man down here for Pride as the man advantage going to be retaken by G2. But the positioning of Pride is going to be fantastic. Two players over towards Hell. One who could very easily duck down Secret, and they could make a B split all too possible.
Yeah, a lot of good position at the moment. We'll have to wait and see where they actually go. They're going to push back round through Hell, clearing all angles over towards Ramp. Now there's a position as well in the form of Reets that's taken all the way through Secret, so they are going to be pincering onto this B site. At the moment, it does look like we've already seen a little bit of a rotation from MBK, so he's going to be on point, open the door, and he's heard everything necessary to try and slow this push down. Kenny on the side denies the plant. That's round done and dusted. There's just no time. MBK will peek out as well, leaving just one, and he even takes that kill as well.
Yeah, it's going to be G2 picking up their fourth as they very triumphantly have a bit of a return. Now, like you said, they tried to pick up that last round for free, didn't invest very much, kept the SMGs for the most part across the board. It didn't pay off this time, though, with the full investment. They're going to be going for it. And, oh, look at Manise. Look at Manise, the big vascular balls on this man, picking up the sawn off to try and assert some dominance on these Frenchmen. I know, it's ballsy, it's fantastic, and it might be the best buy I've seen in a long time, as he's just going to be holding up close and personal with it. The sawn-off does not get enough love, and that's not just because it is literally a meme in weapon form. It is because it's fantastic. And Exodus, well, that nade's going to attack him down very low off the bat already. This outside push having a lot of momentum sucked out of it. Morel's going to be looking across, but he does so. Oh, they're just going to get down through Secret. They're still alive and kicking. Three players down here. The bomb trying to cross as well, but Kenny's going to potentially push on through as he hears them make their way down. No one's going to be watching the flank. No one sees this coming, and this could be huge.
Oh, the timing just about gets away with that one. There's going to be a couple more players down below. He has to be careful. He's got an AWP. He doesn't really want to give that over to the other side. They're going to go for the jump. One will find, but Exus is able to trade. AWP picked up as well. Manise is normally the AWPer for this team, so maybe he can do something in this situation, although he doesn't actually have the AWP. He's got his trusty sawn-off, the mini AWP, the short-range AWP, and he's going to be rotating around, trying to get close and personal. Throws the smoke out, actually looks to rotate back in through Hut. Maybe he can find Body, who is actually close and personal, but I think Body's seen him coming. We'll just throw down the flash to try and bait him back out of position. We do also have Shocks sitting over towards Ramp. Not many rotation, and although a little bit of damage done, now things become very, very difficult for the remaining two players. So low on HP, and Body makes it look easy.
I mean, the sawn-off should have won that duel 9 times out of 10, right? But sadly, this was one in 10. Then it's gonna be G2 though. They pick up their 5th, and once again, another round where they only lose one player. That's gonna do wonders for their economy. Sadly, Kenny does have to rebuy into the AWP, but Hey, that's kind of the one downside of running this double AWP setup. It's been working out for them extremely well, and this time we're going to be seeing both Shox and Kenny towards outside, looking to try and assert some dominance here early on. Luz and the rest of the team close in tow, going to be going out for the peak. They do spot out the first play. It's going to be Shox to watch, Marshmallow, Kenny to watch outside. Nowhere else, you can't take peaks like that up against this AWPer, and now they're going to be trying to make some pressure towards outside. They do go in for the push, but you can already see the rotates come on through. Kenny's still locking things down, and there we go. That eco from Pride just going to be shut down before they get so much as a foot in the door. They try to stick it in, and well, Kenny just slams that door shut, amputates the foot.
Yeah, now we start to see G2 getting into the swing of things. Obviously, having that one sort of bonus round. Other than that, it has looked very dominant, and you can see that by the amount of money that's currently on the side of G2. Now, they only actually have, what, 2 players who've died once, which is sort of ridiculous. Shox and MBK having a whale of a time at the moment, but we are going to look for outer control from this T side. Now, they do have quite a bit of utility, but thus far, not really using too much of it. Haven't taken control using those smokes, but now we are actually going to see them just thrown out. Going to try and isolate that AWP outside. But there is a little bit of support, and actually, it's going to be in secret where Kenny switched up spots and may just catch them out as they try and push towards it.
Oh, he's going to get tagged down low on the back of that AK. That has to fall on back and relinquish control of secret up to Pride for the time being as they now grab control of outside. Very forceful. Apex going to go down. Shox rotating around there to try and get this refrag. Does scope on in. Just watching the corner. And oh, there's a no scope. Luz going to go down despite having the movement of a god. It still falls at the hands of Shox, who is the god slayer. There we go, going to peek out wide, finds himself a second as well. Reed's next to go down, leaving it all on Manice 1v4, who's currently over towards ramp, trying to come in from behind, but MBK is watching the angle. He's more than aware that he gave up control here, and down it goes Manice. That is going to be G2 to pick up their 7th, keeping 4 players alive once again. So much money building up over on the CT side. You got Shox on 12,000, Body on 11,000, and everyone else kind of around 5,000 to 8,000 respectively. It's going to be meaning their economy not in any problems, not in any trouble, sorry, anytime soon.
Yeah, and well, on the other side, Pride are having problems at the moment. They haven't been able to get anything really going other than that AK round that they had versus a few mixed SMGs. Now, I do wonder when will be the point where they actually opt to call in a pause, maybe slow things down a little bit because they are just getting wrecked all over the shop. However, Morels will be able to pick up one, and they're now looking to go quickly onto the A site, rush onto the man, which is Body. He's going to be close, and he is going to go down. Bomb plant should be confirmed, and now it's whether or not G2 are going to be able to retake it a 3 versus 4.
Yeah, pop flashing in for Shox to try and capitalize on this. Kenny a little bit hesitant about going in through heaven as well. They're going to double on back and try to push in through the heart. Now Luz is going to be watching the flight. MBK is there and does find that frag. Kenny deals with Morels in the meantime, and MBK is going to find himself a second. So what was a very dangerous round quickly being turned on its head as Exus finds himself now 1v3, finds one. Shock's going to go down as he gets guillotined into the side, but Kenny with the flick. Down it goes Exus. And that is going to be G2 to pick up their 8th. Things were looking to be a little bit on the ropes, but G2 come into that with fantastic form, a textbook retake, and a couple of unnecessary peaks coming out from Pride to allow MBK to find those initial 2 frags. Do mean that G2 going to be picking up their 8th, still maintaining a good economy over on the CT side. And Pride, well, they did get the bomb down, so they can finally field the AWP buy, but still only with 1 round on their T side.
Yeah, bomb definitely going to help them out a little bit, although I think they had enough money saved anyway. Did quite a bit of damage, but of course we already know there's a lot of money. MBK still with 1 death. 10 KD at this point in time. And somebody needs to shut him down before things get way too out of control. Obviously, it is a CT-sided map. I wouldn't say it's anywhere near as heavy as it used to be, and there are quite a few teams who can now rack up some rounds on that T side, unlike the old iteration where we could even see 15 O's. We're going to see the quick drop. Possibility to get back into the A main position, but they're actually going to fall down into secret. Try and make their rotation over towards this B site, but the problem is they've been so good on the rotations on G2. Kenny's already making his way down. He's heard them all coming. May actually just miss the timing though, but he gets the first. Falls back, gives the information over towards his team. Is going to get mollied out. We'll have the smoke.
Yeah, things are going to be getting very hot and spicy there, but Shox to chime in with the next one on the AWP. They're taking these engagements, and already G2, they've rotated everyone around. Bombs down, and down goes Manice. leaving it all on Exodus. The rotates have been so good from G2. Now it's all going to be on Exodus 1v5. If he can find even a frag, then you know, at least that's a little bit in the way of economic damage done, but still, at this point, looking to be very unlikely. Shox just free-firing in through the door. He does do some damage out of Apex. It's going to go down, but then Shox to rectify. That is G2 arriving at their 9th, and in just fantastic form. Pride can't do anything, and the pause finally going to come in. I mean, you know, they've tried going A, they've tried pushing outside. They've even managed to get all the way down and towards B and literally be inches away from the site. And G2 just flat out dominating them every single time and time again. And, you know, I mean, the rotates have just been, like you said a minute ago, fantastic, Tom.
Yeah, they've been very, very quick. And even in sort of positions where it does look like just one person going to be trying to defend, they're very, very good at just, okay, I'll take a pick, I'll get the information, and then I'll fall back. And we saw that there from Kenny, just able to do so much in that position. And obviously, I think it's a good time to take a pause. There's still a chance to rectify the problems, of course, which I think, although it's a little bit late, they could have done it a bit earlier. It's still a position where maybe Pride can bring things back. Now, obviously, it's a long way to go. At the moment, they are looking like they're getting outclassed. The star of the show for Pride is normally Meniz, and he's currently down on 3 frags. So, I think G2, just like the sort of Fnatic roster coming back, it's one of those things where if they get confident, if they get rolling, it's going to be very difficult to shut them down. They've got so many players who could just pick up and win a game. I think that's why people are so excited about this team. You've got Shox and Kenny finally together, but Apex as an entry fragger, very, very strong. And even when you fall back to players who you may call support, MBK can still pull out games, as we're seeing here.
Yeah, I mean, MBK's 10-1. He's died once. He's having a fantastic time on the CT side. And, you know, I mean, I think coming into this, we've seen G2 have a lot of teething problems playing up against kind of the T1 teams, but I don't think that ever means they're going to struggle to play up against, you know, kind of these lower echelons teams such as Pride, who are kind of emerging and do still have a lot of things to work on. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And G2 just not having any problem, at least not on their home map pick for the time being. Now, smokes towards outside, going to be the order of the day for Pride, trying to render the AWP out here, which is going to be Shox useless, and they actually don't smoke him off at all. Not sure if the smoke missed or if it just wasn't there, but Morel's going to quickly realize that, oh god, we've done something terribly wrong, as the beast is very much awoken. Over towards outside, pop flashing towards A main, but Apex is here to find the first. Down goes Luz. It's Kenny and Shox, the AWPing duo, to finish things off. Find those last 2 frags and secure G2 their 10th.
Yeah, this is just absolute destruction at this point in time. Not really anything that's working at all. They're trying to take outside. The smokes are missing. Shox is able to just have a field day. And well, there's a few players that maybe if you give them an inch, they won't take it. They won't just destroy. Shox will destroy you. He will absolutely destroy you if you give him even the slightest advantage. He's already a phenomenal player. As you can tell, I'm a fan. And I'm just worried at this point. We are going to see an aggressive push in. MBK lining them up. They finally might be able to kill this guy. He's on 2 HP, even fading away. How does MBK survive? That's ridiculous.
MBK just doesn't fear death, and as a result, he doesn't die. Falls on back, still picks up just a plethora of frags, and that is going to be him now. 14-1. He's almost top fragging for G2, and he's only died once. He's literally going insane right now. Pride still have yet to find anything more than that one stray round they did up against a very, very poorly brought up G2. Now going to be trying to force the issue once again towards outside. Now, this has not been working for them. Shox is still getting posted up here with the AWP. That is a terrifying monster to have to try and deal with. Molotov going to go down to delay the push for the time being. Buy time for G2 to exert some aggression elsewhere, as Kenny S has already pushed up over towards A main. Everyone for Pride going to be outside right now. Apex is peering over the top of the smoke. Shox as well.
He's already aware. He's just rotated back around to catch them.
He's already fallen on back.
Such a smart position, and well, surely they won't be able to pick him off. He should be able to get one and just fade back into the vents, and that's exactly what he needs to do in this sort of spot. They'll have to pre-fire it. Actually misses. That's going to be an opportunity, something we haven't seen so far. He will still be able to just reposition without anything going the other way. And again, actually going to miss the second shot. This is uncharacteristics of Shoxy. Rotation in the meantime has come in. Exis is already low on HP. But we're going to see the trade. Kenny goes for the no-scope, missing, but don't worry, he's got that 5-7 in play. He should be falling, however, and now, well, Shox, you've already missed a couple of shots. Now you've got to get all of them. Brings it back to a 1v2, and Maniz will finish.
Yeah, Pride, they pick up a much-needed second round. The only issue is this does leave them poised for the economic reset. G2, with so much money sitting in their bank accounts, they're not going to have any problem to buy down once again. The double-up setup going to be very much in play. Both Kenny and Shox picking up the AWPs. Maniz does have an AWP, though, for the side of Pride. The only issue is, when you look at the money, if they lose this, it will be a forced buy for the last round of the half. They have to get that bomb plant. They have to try and secure this round if they want to have any hope of buying up into the next. And, well, already we're going to be seeing Maniz taking some outside control, pushed up very, very aggressive. He's going to be there on his own. No one to trade things out, but just going to be taking these Angels with the AWP, trying to spot out the lone Kenny S towards outside. No one actually positioned here to trade, as per usual. Normally we see a player peeking out from either heaven or positioned up by the air conditioning, but instead it's just going to be Kenny there alone, with Pride now setting up to try and take some pressure towards outside. Kenny does miss that first shot. A little bit uncharacteristic of the French AWP to not land those, but now Maniz going to be allowed to push on up as a result. Kenny's had to fall all the way on back in towards CT. Sport might even be he's taking this very passively, just going to be watching the push in towards Hell, which does mean secret control at least is going to go the way of Pride.
I've seen a couple of teams do this now. It's not a bad spot to just make sure the player in heaven is safe, but it does mean that if the site push comes in, they may be a little bit open. There's a couple of players already there on the cross. Looking at Reitz, he's going to end the lives of at least one more player. The rotation from Shox is actually going to come in through vents. Now, the vent has already been popped, but the problem is getting up this spot is very, very difficult. He needs a distraction, and MBK will be that distraction. Kenny with one more. That leaves Shox actually getting out of the vent, and now it's all 1-1, and Kenny will be there to finish. Straight bounce back, economy reset, but it's going into the last round anyway, so we know they're going to be buying.
Yeah, just going to have to force on down, see what they can do with these pistols. Now, I mean, every round that Pride have won, they've had a fairly decent buy together. We haven't really seen them ever do too much with these pistols, with the exception of that round where it kind of ended up being in the 2-on-2 there. Actually, it became a 1-on-2 at the end. With Exis trying to hold off the site all on his lonesome. Now, this round, they're hoping to try and replicate that, but a little bit more successful. They've got Luz, who does have a Galil, so they have got a rifle to try and play around with at least. They're going to be stacking up out towards A. This is exactly what they did last time they were on this force by Apex and playing up close, and they walk in like lambs to the slaughter, in through the meat grinder, finds those first two. Shox and Body quick on the rotate, and then Shoxy to find those last two frags. G2, they're going to secure themselves a 13th. They find themselves 3 rounds away from taking this, 2 from match point, meaning that if they get the pistol, this is all said and done.
Yeah, it is looking more like a classic nuke sort of scenario where one team has just absolutely dominated the CT side, and now moving in, Pride have got to win the pistol just to have a chance to have a go at theirs. Now, they're not a bad nuke team. We've seen them beat Flipside recently, who arguably are in poorer form, but this is a different beast altogether. This is a team just playing pure disrespect, aggressive play, and, well, just even in skill level, they are seemingly a field above at the moment from Pride. But we can see if they can at least take the pistol. Looking like we're going to see an aggressive squeaky push. Nice shot from Luz to start. It's going to get traded out very, very quickly by MBK, leaving it back, and they're actually going to go for the vent drop. Just go and get that bomb down over towards B.
Yeah, quick rotate coming in from the ramp player in towards that B site. Reitz is already on standby, and Morels is going to be there as well. Exis watching the push down through ramp, does protect his teammate. And well, in comes Maniz. He's going to bite the dust very, very quickly as MBK pivoting around finds that headshot. Now, it's going to be swiftly put into a 3-on-3, but Morel's going to be tagged down to a mere 1 HP. So much as a decoy bouncing off him, sorry, and catching him in the shin would take him down. Exis going to be the next to fall as Shox with the pistol. They also deal with Morels, leaving it all on Reitz. 1v2. MBK going to go for this bomb plant. Him and Apex. 2 players have been doing some serious work. Should be able to clutch this one out. Reitz going to have to land some very nice shots in order to do this. Does spot out that first player. He knows where they are. Just going to be sneaking out of the site now. They weren't watching Vent. If he can potentially push on up and find his frags into Apex, and he knows exactly where MBK is. And oh, they're going to try and take the duel with MBK, and MBK quicker on the trigger, finds that frag. That's G2 picking up the pistol, their 14th round, leaving them 1 round away from match point. Map point, sorry.
Yeah, of course, we do still have Inferno coming up next. A map that Pride have been good on throughout this tournament so far. I think we've seen them actually 16-1 tricked, but as already said, it's a different beast, it's a different ball game. We are going to see them force into this one. A couple of UMPs available, and the rest will be on pistols. Very little in terms of utility. In fact, only 1 flashbang, and MBK has had enough already. Going to go very aggressive outside, looking to challenge. Maniz with the dig. It's quite a bit of damage. Actually takes down Kenny. Already making this a little bit costly. Obviously, force fires all the way from here on out, but Exus gets another one, keeping the man advantage alive after the trade from Shox. Apex up as well, down to 7 HP. Maybe this will be the redemption of Pride, doing a lot of damage early on.
Yeah, these high-powered hand cannons they've got in their pockets doing some serious work. There's Maniz to find himself a second as well. And oh, and a third. Maniz, what are you doing? He's now on 3. It's all on MBK. And down it goes MBK at the hands of the UMP. Maniz, just a monster with the deagle, gets himself the Oh Baby a triple, and that's going to be Pride picking up their 3rd. Now, while there is a very, very small kind of impact in the grand scheme of things, it does allow them now to potentially field their CT side comeback. Now, for them to somehow take this 16-14, going to look to be very unlikely. But, you know, we could easily see them claw back a couple of rounds. And we know that G2 aren't really the best team, at least based on the kind of individual players, that when things start to kind of slip away from them, they don't do too well. Morale's going to be able to wrap on his lonesome, finds 2, looking for the 3rd, but Apex says no, shuts him down. They look to fall down over towards ramp and make their way in towards B. It's going to be a 3-on-4. They've got an M4 to play around with. Maniz coming in over towards ramp. Not going to have the deagle this time. This time going to have the AK in hand. Looking to try and find these frags if he can.
Shox attempting to sneak back around, but they are just being shut down. Kenny does manage to get a rifle. He can only take 1, so it will be another round on the board for Pride. Likelihood is we'll have to see an eco come out from G2, but they will be getting the rifles up in the next round. Don't expect to see anything in this, just because that would be a pretty overzealous buy, to say the least. They may be confident, but this should be a level of insanity. So it does mean the Poles are at least going to have an opportunity to get themselves rolling a little bit. They'll have the rifles for this round, hoping to keep it as clean as possible, whereas G2 are going to be aiming to try and get themselves a bomb plant.
Stacking up outside of A, though, is going to be the order of the day. So it looks like they want to try and push on through. Molotov going to go just to deny things for the time being. Shox actually has to push on in it unless he wants to burn to death. And as a result, does go down at the hands of Exus. And oh, Apex going to get attacked through this smoke as well. This round not going to be shaping up too well. Bomb does actually manage to get down through vents and can make its way towards B. MBK forcing the show towards ramp. Morales is here to hold things down, finds the first and the second. Body now lost alive, going to find himself 1v5. Has to break vents, but he should be able to get the bomb plant. And at that point, not going to be too bad here for G2. That's exactly what they wanted. They didn't invest much, if anything, into this round. And who knows if they're going to find a frag? No, never mind. Down goes Body, but still gets the bomb plant. Perhaps most crucially, like just a slippery fish in the back line. Can't quite track him down, and that's going to be a 14-5 scoreline. As Pride, they do find themselves their 3rd consecutively. But the bomb plant from G2 means they have plenty of money going into this round.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get whatever they want going into this, and I'm not going to pick up an AWP. I wonder if they actually had... I think they just had enough if Body wanted to drop head armor that he could actually give one over to Kenny, but they've decided against him. Maniz will have one over on that CT side, and actually going to go aggressive over towards ramp, try and take an early pick. In the meantime, we've seen a quick push coming outside, taking a lot of control. Smokes will fall. Apex is going to make his way down. In the meantime, Shox has already dropped into the vent and taken over this B side, so they're just going to be waiting for any sort of rotations. He's low on HP, but just the positional play alone, and that's a lovely shot from Apex. Head clean off of Morales, and Kenny already waiting. Drops 1 and a second. No hope now for Pride in this round. Down to Maniz and Exus. Maniz has just been ended by Apex.
Yeah, they just funnel kills through a tube for Kenny as he does find them too. And then Apex, like you say, with a nice push up on a Maniz to take him down, leaving it all on Exus. 1v5, and he's looking to just try and stay alive by camping things out over towards Secret. You can see that MBK is going to be going on the hunt, should discover where he is as he makes his way on up, has to check the angle, and Well, is he going to? Peeks on up. X is going to get spotted. And oh no, can't save. NBK, fantastic read. And, you know, just great methodical corner checking, right? Didn't want to risk just running on out. And I feel like if it were anyone else, maybe someone not as worldly experienced as MBK, who knows? We might have seen them go down there, but still 15-5 G2. They arrive at match point. Pride do have enough money to buy on down. They've got an AWP in play, a couple of rifles, and Morel's going to be on the UMP. But G2 are going to be the more favored ones heading into this. They've got rifles across the board, a boatload of utility to play around, but then a push towards outside with...
Shox actually gets stuck. That was so close. He managed to get down again. Nice shot, Maniz. He will be able to get one, but I don't think they know. Do they not know again? Shox has just managed to go down the vent for the second time. Lars is going to be able to stop one, and actually, the positional play from Shox in that sort of position was just to stop them from behind. And Body actually going to be dropped as well. The bomb is down. It's down to Shox and Kenny to try and close this one down, and they are doing work. It's down to just Kenny to try and hold this off alone. Already tagged very low, gets a second with the flick. Down to just 9 HP. No scope does connect, but not quite able to do the damage.